1, 2, 1, 2.
Hey, good morning, y'all.
Good morning.
Yep,
Morning.
we back in, boy. We back up in the house. 2024. I'm sorry, 2025. And boy, it's been rough, but we came together and we back up in here. It's so much going on. We decided to do current events. Um, Darius, first of all, uh, we appreciate you keeping us up on the sports, what's going on in the sports world, which is a bunch of, if it ain't one thing, it's like so much going on. And you, every time something go on, there's a lot of times I done got messages that they found out, first what happened, what's going on from being in the group. So yeah. And then they starting to come to our group for the sports news, which is what we wanted. So yeah, that I will appreciate that. We give you your flowers on that one for being consistent with that. And then
And put highlights in the groups too.
yep, yep, yep. So I have to make sure I give y'all that feedback. It's been some positive feedback on that, and you've been doing it all year long. And then the return of the Hakim. Hakim, I'm so glad to hear your voice, boy. I don't know what to do.
Same here. Same here.
And yeah, for real, for real. So yeah, it's been rough. So we are coming back. Hakim, I've always said Shoebox Talk, the inception of HubNet Online Radio has been a creation of my producer Hakim, and us being able to do it without him is not that's not even an option. So we welcome you back, and we're gonna take it slow, and we're gonna go from there. We're gonna make some adjustments. As usual, Hakim always has to upgrade us and things like that. But we still bringing the show to the people. We do have another platform where we have folks calling in and things like that. But we decided, I think about almost 2 years ago, to bring the show to our social media platforms to the people, especially to Shoebox Talk, the peeps. We also want to acknowledge that our network pastor, Dante Townsend, is still on board. So we're gonna be working on revamping his platform there and getting his show going as well, the Jubilee Affair. So anyway, what's up? There's so much going on. I know outside of
Yeah.
we talk, but what's going on in the world. This administration, I think we need to do like a month-long series and on this administration, because it's crazy. It's crazy. It's like, I remember us having this show when Trump was in office the first time, and that first time wasn't even half as bad as what's going on now. So I've always said, if this dude was able to get the House and the Senate, oh, that's a wrap. The Democrats might as well just go on vacation, take a 4-year cruise somewhere around the world, and come back and check in. Because by the time you try to undo what he's done, or have he got all these lawsuits. By the time all them lawsuits even make it to court or even get looked at, his due to either be moved on to glory, or hopefully out of office. He ain't got. He's up in his 80s. He's like 3 years younger than Biden. So yeah. So it's like I'm at the end of my life. I'm at the up in years or whatever. I'm doing whatever. It don't matter. I ain't gonna be here much longer. No way. Type energy. So I don't know what y'all got. Where do you want to start? Because it's one thing to deal with him, but the thing that's amazing to me is the people, starting with the vice president that he has put in charge of this country. It's crazy. That dude Patel that's over the FBI. Oh my goodness. This dude, yeah.
No experience. The only credentials that this guy had that popped up on Trump's radar is he shitted on the FBI every chance he got. Tweets, conspiracy theories, going all the way back to the Mueller case when he was investigating Trump. Cash Patel was out there just writing, doing op-eds in various political newspapers that lean right wing. He's a Trump cheerleader, and he's a radical kook who hates. You put a guy in charge of the FBI that hates the FBI,
Right. Basically. And why?
and because when you put a loyalist who hates an investigative, if you put a guy, think about this. Imagine someone who's investigating you for every bit of 8 years,
Right.
right? Because he was under investigation while he was in here, then investigation when Biden was in there. So that's close to about 8 years.
Right.
You, you are Trump is in there committing crimes as we speak.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
not that's nothing new.
And
Yep.
the big news story that's not being reported enough is there is a shredding activity going on in every single branch of government. No records are being kept because they know they're losing the next election. They know it. They know there will not be another Republican in their White House. Um, so you put investigators in, you fire all the legit people because when the next White House comes, those FBI agents are going to get active and investigate Trump and all his people. But if you put a guy in charge now, you're not going to keep records. You're going to wipe out all the real people. You're going to keep only the people who are going to be loyal. So when Trump leaves, there won't be a serious investigation.
But isn't that a felony offense shredding official documents and stuff?
Yes, yes, and
Just that in itself will get you in jail, put up in
yes,
jail.
yes. That's what the whole the documents thing that he got
Right.
um that his case was about, and
Yep.
that's the thing that they were investigating Biden about,
Right.
taking
Right.
the documents home. When you are a federal employee or you are a sitting president, any documents that you touch or about you flow through you, you're supposed to keep. It's
Mm-hmm.
some it's and it's supposed to go to the presidential library or congressional library, something like that.
Right.
But you're not allowed to get rid of anything. You're not allowed to take anything home. Nothing is yours.
Right. Right.
And
Right.
Trump doesn't understand it because he doesn't understand how government works. He's only using government to one, to make money, and two, to go after his enemies.
Right. Which is crazy. Some when you up and you dang near 90 years old and you that petty, like you first of all, the people that you're going after, these was people or he these people that were government officials or people doing their job.
Hmm.
You broke the law. Why you mad? Why you coming? That's like you stealing from Walmart and then want to be mad and the cop come and arrest you, but then when you get out of jail, you want to go after the cop and shoot his family up or something crazy like that. And when you
Yeah,
was in Walmart stealing, you you got what I'm saying. This man doing his job. He got the call. He caught you stealing. Now you got to go to jail. That's crazy. Something has to be seriously wrong with you. Right? It'd be different. It would be
well,
different if you wasn't actually committing crimes. And I can see where you
yeah,
would be in your feelings about nigga, you've been doing all kinds of stuff and think that you exempt because I don't know why he thinks he's exempt. Everybody else can go to jail, but him. Look at what you call it, the old dude from New York, Giuliani. His little life, the rest of his little life just messed up dealing with Trump.
Yeah.
Lost his crib. He's Giuliani was, a big part of a lot of things in political history, especially in New York. And for him to go out like that, it just goes to show you fall when it's all said and done, and this dude is gone. Or whatever, everybody think that he's not gonna be around to be able to even pardon you or whatever. All y'all senators and all y'all people that's doing crooked stuff, with you're gonna have to answer to that. Y'all young folks is gonna still be here. You're gonna have to answer to the stuff that you're doing. I don't even want to talk about the fact that I can't, other than racism, racist. Elon Musk, this dude here want to sit up and talk about Elon Musk is a national treasure. He's something American Tesla is American. This dude is from Africa.
South Africa.
You know what I'm saying? He's not no U.S. citizen or born here or whatever the case may be. So some things that apply to us poor people don't apply to them. You know, uh, it
Well,
just it's just ridiculous. So the fact that there is so many people around me that is immediately, it hasn't even been 6 months yet, has it? That
or
is right. They are within 45 days of this dude, weeks to 45 days of this dude being in office. They was like, oh my God, I can't believe this. I should have never voted for him. Having all kinds of regrets, But people was trying to tell you. People have been
what you
trying
see is
to the
what you get.
whole time been trying to tell you how it's going to be. Now, some you can disagree or dislike Kamala Harris all you want, but honey, we would not be in no way near half the problems we having right now in this country if she had made it into office. So, I don't know. I mean, we can go on and on and on. What's the most current thing? I said, I have to watch Sunday news throughout and catch up because the daily stuff it was breaking me down. Like I ain't get it's so much every day. And this chick what's her position called? The one that speaks to the press at the White House with the blonde hair.
That's the press secretary.
Yeah, the press secretary. I keep forgetting.
Yeah.
She
I will, I will say this for her. Compared to his last, four, Anthony Scaramucci, Sarah
Mhm,
Huckabee, and I forgot that last little blonde hair girl.
mhm,
This one is artful with her bullshit. She can literally bullshit you,
mhm,
freestyle it, and be
mhm,
dead serious. So if you're
mhm,
ignorant and you don't know policy and you
mhm.
ain't keeping up with the news outside of pop,
Yeah,
and you just some redneck, you turn on the TV and you see her up there bullshitting, you're going to believe it. She's very believable.
yeah, yeah.
And just
And she got a funky ass attitude too.
yes, yes.
With the reporters, they be just trying to keep so they won't get kicked up out of there because they'll put somebody out and you can't come and ask no more questions or nothing like that. And yeah,
Well, they banned
she's something else.
that's the big story over the week. They banned the wire core. So the
Why?
AP, if you the only people who can get in now are the people who old school type of press before the internet really hit. Old school press is in there now. So now you got to be in there with your little recorder.
Mhm.
You got to rely on the camera, and you got to do this and that. And when you leave, then you upload. A When you got a wire cord in there, it's uploading as he's sitting there talking.
Oh wow!
You know what I
Why is
mean?
that? Why did they change that?
Because that is what Trump wanted. He hates the AP wire type organization. He's banning corporate media who don't agree with him. You can't come in here anymore. And he's replacing them with podcasters,
What?
with
he
streamers.
doesn't care.
He's putting radical right wing internet folks in replacement of real journalists. So
Mm,
because he doesn't like anybody who's reporting on
right.
him. And I'm like, wow, I don't see, I get it. I was a little upset to see this story come out like Tuesday, and nobody gave a shit. And I'm just like, all right, well, our people aren't too good at keeping up with news anyway.
Mm,
So, but yeah, it's a lot going on with this dude.
yeah, and it's ongoing. It's we used to talk about things when he was in office at first. It wasn't so, and it was. I think we was in shock, but then he wasn't moving as fast, and you could tell he didn't really know what he was doing. And plus, it was during COVID, so our mindset. But it's like it's not every day. It's like every within a 24-hour period. it's constant. It's not funny. Constant stuff coming out that this dude done said or done, or the people that he done put in office. I'm like, I couldn't. Literally, I was like, okay, this is too much. I can't keep up with the garbage that this dude is doing. The problem when this is when I said, okay, Michelle, you gonna have to when this fool sent that plane like a reality show to that country with those MS 13, 16, whatever they are, gang members, murderers, convicts, whatever you want to call them, and put them on camera. It reminded me of some type of reality show. I said, if you didn't know, you look, this is not real. You sitting up there shaving off their heads on camera, like I'm like, this is crazy. That's not. And then before that, okay, before it got to that part, when the judge was holding his ground, there's a process we go through, and I gave y'all an order to hold on, to slow down, and y'all, they basically said, after you, we're gonna do what we want to do, ain't shit you can do about it, and went on and dropped them prisoners over there. I said, wow, that's crazy. That's crazy.
I'm glad you brought that up because that was a big story. Again, I didn't see. We all should have been jumping up and down with our hair on fire with that story because not only did he ship people over to that country that's ran by a crazy dictator who has torture camps and slaughter camps. He sent these people over there, and the judge told the DOJ lawyers to, hey, don't send those people over there, and they did it anyway. Then the judge came back a couple weeks later, like about a week and a half, and said, hey, bring them the hell back, and they ignored them. And then the judge said, okay, I need you to tell me three things. One, why did you not obey my order? Two, what grounds did you have for not obeying my order? And three, who are the people involved that sent these people over there? They blew it off. The judge then put in another order that's saying, I'm going to hold somebody in contempt if I don't hear something soon. So in comes Chief Justice Fuckface. I forgot his damn name. Roberts. He swoops in, saves Trump's ass, and says, I'm going to put a hold on that.
Who is that? Right? That attorney? That attorney?
No, Chief Justice Roberts.
Oh, okay, Justice Roberts. Okay.
He puts a hold. Now, this was in early March. He puts a hold on the judge holding Trump administration in contempt and the DOJ in contempt. Then he escalated it, and the Trump people start appealing, and the appellate court lost, Third Circuit lost. They lost all the way up to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court, when it came to the young brother that they snatched up, with no evidence that he was a part of a gang, they were not gang members. They were not criminals. Yep. They were not killers. They were not murderers. They were grabbing people. I'm going to tell you what they were. They were asylum seekers who came here, and the U.S. government opened up the doors. This kid been here since Obama left.
That's right.
And when you leave a foreign government that is ran by dictators that are brutally killing its people, U.S. America always had a policy where you can't come here, seek asylum, but you got to get checked in at the border. You got to see a judge. You got to go and there's a whole litany of things where you get a temporary green card or a temporary visa, whatever it is.
Right.
Trump revoked all temporary visas. Well, not all. Let me not say that. He revoked temporary visas of the people he don't like.
That's
to the Haitians,
crazy.
Bye. We keep hearing about the Venezuelans. You ain't hearing about the Haitians that's getting snatched up in Florida. You ain't hearing about the ones who getting snatched up in Ohio. You ain't hearing about the ones
Oh,
that's getting snatched up out of New York. ICE is on the ice, and the crazy part is ICE can't keep up. They don't have the manpower to go after all the people Trump want to go after. So
and
they're grabbing the low hanging fruit. They're grabbing taxpayers. This dude was here for over 8 years, married to a U.S. citizen, 3 kids, working a job, paying his taxes, and they pulled him over and snatched him out of his car with his 5-year-old in the car.
mm,
No
Double
criminal.
stare at America is worse.
and shipped them where? Where they took them to?
They sent him to El Salvador.
No, you.
Trump is paying. The president of El Salvador came out and said they interviewed the vice president after that senator went over there and met with the dude, and the
Yep,
picture
yep,
came out.
yep, yep.
We'll get to that story too, because that's a more goofiness. Wait to hear this shit. They interviewed the vice president of El Salvador, and they said, "Why are you guys taking American citizens and holding them?" And they said, "Because Trump is paying us to.
Taxpayers' money. Eh,
They're
He
taking the
does not
taxes.
care.
They're outsourcing the prisoners to a country that they know the world, the UN has said this
yeah.
guy's over there running a goddamn slaughterhouse.
Mm,
It's
mm.
it's just like they're kidnapping people.
So my take on that is, I like you said about the Haitian people. What, and those are U.S. citizens that he's doing that to. Who's to say he ain't finna start taking all these black boys that's locked up in jail? They gonna be next. Those that's doing lives and murderers or whatever your situation is. Who's to say that? I feel like that's just a segue. All of this is just a segue to getting rid of all these black people that's in jail, in prison, and sending them to another country.
But see, here's the thing. He when it comes to how there's a war going on here in the country, and
Hmm.
how he's waging a war. He hates everybody, including poor whites. He really hates um, the Latino and Latin brown people, and he hates black people too. But he will keep us around he wants to replace the labor force of black people, which is to return us back to a slavery type thing. He wants us back out. He wants us out there picking strawberries and picking cotton
Black
and
jobs.
mowing lawns. Because remember, he said it himself.
Hmm.
Think about the jobs we see Latino dudes do.
Hmm.
Ignore the construction, but the farming jobs, the agricultural jobs.
Hmm.
He wants that to be black jobs. He don't
Wow.
want you building nothing because black people can't go and get a building job without being a part of a union, which is your ticket out of the hood.
Right.
That's
Right.
one thing my grandfather taught me over 40 years ago. Hey, you want to go out there and get a labor job. Don't make the
Mm.
mistake me and your father made. We're laborers, but we didn't do it through a union. Because now you got
Mm.
the benefits, you got the retirement, you got the high pay. You can go
Hmm.
buy a home, you can get out the hood.
Yeah.
Back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, our parents pushed us to get jobs with the post office
Hmm.
because that was
Hmm.
the easiest job you can get if you didn't have a trade or a skill because the
Right.
pay was high. There was unions, and unions come with benefits that can help you buy your first home, help your
Yeah.
family grow. There were so many things, so many tools that were in place, and Trump's tearing that all down. He wants you out there for $7 an hour cutting grass.
Right.
He don't want you with a forklift and a hammer because that's going to add value to your life.
Hmm. Hmm.
You know
And
what I mean?
learn a trade.
Exactly. And that's the part. And I always say, man, you know, whoever is behind Trump, and there's like a good five of them. And then
Hmm.
we got the Project 25, which was the answer to everything that Biden did. We're
Hmm.
not going to fully understand all that Biden did for this country until it's too late.
Yep. Yep.
He he
Those are
he,
facts.
he
Yep.
spent trillions of dollars of investments into this country, building chips, opening
Mm-hmm.
up those warehouses that's down there in Detroit.
Yep.
Um, uh, Tech companies having the ability to do certain things. More loans for black and minority, other minorities.
He came to Philly and put that money together and said that to build the bridges and the streets and stuff. He said,
Mhm.
but the only way you get it is if you hire black people. That's
Well, yeah, he made
why
that
Trump
across the
was trying to
country.
tear down across the country,
Yeah,
tear down the DEI.
yeah,
If
because
you got in order for you to get this money, you got to hire black people,
yeah,
minorities. And
because
that's why that fool went crazy when that's why he's trying to that's one of the reasons he's trying to tear this shit down. That ain't no black job because them jobs was paying some pretty. You can make a good living building. It ain't nothing that our culture haven't done already. Built this country, and
yeah,
he put that. He didn't like that.
he hated it, and he hated it because the middle class was getting blacker and browner,
Yeah.
and what was happening is these young kids, and then there was another process that was working behind the scenes under Biden. It's called
Mm-hmm,
Skills First,
mm-hmm,
where young people from 18 to the age of 29 were joining nonprofits who had relationships and connections with big corporate America, where you're able to be trained and get paid internships with corporate America,
mm-hmm.
and corporate America would decide if they want to hire you or not.
Right.
There were 18, 19-year-old women getting jobs at the Children's Hospital. And we
Mm-hmm,
call it CHOP here in Philadelphia. And CHOP is the world's leading hospital. It's the number one hospital in America for children.
mm-hmm.
And just imagine an 18, 19-year-old getting a job there
Right.
with who's fully trained, or
Mm-hmm,
getting a job at the big pharmaceutical companies.
mm-hmm.
So it's
Right.
this was something that was happening under Biden because he released a bunch of funding, and he sit there and figured out a way for people who didn't do college to get a good paying job. That's why you kept hearing them talking about
Mm-hmm. I
work
remember.
and equity and all that other
Yep.
shit. And
Yep.
my daddy used to tell me that your job
Mm-hmm.
is. He
Yep.
believed in it because he was a big supporter of unions. That's why you saw so many unions coming out.
Right.
And they
Right.
were, remember he did that march. They were actually marching with him
Mm-hmm.
because under him they knew that they were all every union across the country every year was looking at picking up 150 to 250 new members from federal
Wow.
funding.
Wow.
So just imagine in terms of tax revenue, what Biden last year walking out the door, he picked up 2 trillion. Trump is about to spend six in his first 6 months.
What?
Yes,
Uh,
when this new budget goes through, it is built in for the next 4 to 5 years. A, we're going to lose $5 trillion in tax money.
What? Oh.
And the crazy part is we got Elon Musk, which is the whole side. That's another side bitch we go on because he ain't what we think he is anymore.
Mm-hmm.
There's a war going on inside that White House.
Mm.
And
With JD
they
Vance. You don't
well,
like that mother freaker.
well,
Him and Elon Musk.
it's not just JD Vance. It's a couple other big dogs in there. Marco Rubio, called him a fucking idiot the other day.
What?
Oh yeah, this leak. We got to talk about the leaks. Woo! There is
I mean,
yeah,
leaks
somebody
going.
sent me one.
but
Somebody,
can I
JD
put my
Vance
two cents in here?
talking shit. JD Vance was talking shit about him. I got that one. Somebody sent me that one.
Go ahead,
Let me
Derek.
give my 2 cents about. I call Satan in the suit in the White House. Look at all these protests, and I don't see that many black people protesting that much. It's
I was
been
gonna
more
say.
white people in these town hall meetings giving
Mm-hmm.
hell to the Republicans.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, everybody was worried what was going to happen. Now, everybody thought Trump was going to do this to black people, but he's doing this to the white folks. Why do you think they're marching out now? It's too little too late.
Well, and you know what? Black people that got quiet because there's a lot of
Yeah,
black
just stand back,
people
stand down.
that voted for his ass too, and they
Well,
sitting up looking crazy like, oh shit, you know.
well,
Yeah.
remember the big protest date.
Mm-hmm.
There was two big dates that you had to keep your eye on. April 2nd
Mm-hmm.
was the what Trump called the Day of Freedom or whatever, the Day of the American
Liberation.
Day of Liberation, where he was going to do all the tariffs. He launched them, they took them bitches down.
Mm-hmm.
That's April 5th was the National Day of Protest, and it was led by white women. Now, from I think that was announced somewhere between March 10th or 12th or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
By March 13th, the movement came out. It started on TikTok, where sit your black ass down. Don't you go out there with them. They pretended like some of them ain't vote for Trump. They
Mm-hmm.
did. We're going to rest and restore, and we're going to focus on the black community.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, that was one movement going on. Also, at the same time, we had Al Sharpton's movement going on that he launched through the National Edge Network that all the smaller movements jumped in on. That way he picked boycott Target, Amazon, blah, 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 that day of
Yeah.
Blackout
Yeah.
Day.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Yep.
we had that going on. And then there was other little small pocket movements throughout the country. Like here in Philly, led by Solomon Jones and the Man of PHL organization, where we had something called oh god, what was it called? I can't remember what they were calling it, but what it was Cash Mob. You know, Flash Mob, when all the kids run into the mall and
Oh
snatch
yeah. Yeah.
everything and run
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
we did cash mobs here in the city. The next one I think is next week or the week after next. A black business is chosen,
Mm-hmm.
and you go in and you spend some damn money.
Oh really?
Saturday 1 p.m. Bring your black asses with your cash card out or your cash out, and we gonna
Mm-hmm.
spend some money. Of the a black owned grocery store that I shop frequently.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't go because my ankle was messed up, my legs messed up, so I couldn't
Mm-hmm.
go that Saturday. So I sent someone down there to spend $200 that Friday right before.
Okay. Okay.
And then the second one was Hakeem's Bookstore, which
Mm-hmm.
is a historical. If you know Philly, everybody in Philly knows Hakeem's Bookstore. It is a centerpiece for the black civil rights movement here in
Mm-hmm.
Philadelphia, which is
Mm-hmm.
a historical place. Um, and everybody went in there and dropped the bag. So the next business is about to be selected, and we're going to do that. This is what we were doing.
Mm-hmm.
Why
In
the
Philly.
white folks out there protesting?
Okay. Okay.
We're getting organized. More nonprofits are being formed. And we're applying for grants. We're looking for loans. We're making moves to take care of ourselves and our children.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
That's
We're
good.
bringing
That's
back block
information.
catchers in Philly.
Bringing back what?
Block catchers.
Really?
Yes, we're there. We our city council and city council president, a new brother that took over,
Uh-huh.
and the mayor's behind us, Sherelle Parker. They
Uh-huh.
got block catching boot camp. You know what I
Really?
mean? Yeah, we're trying to bring back the old school stuff that kept our block straight. Remember block parties? Philly stopped having
Mm-hmm.
block parties because somebody was getting their ass shot off every year.
Yep. Yep. New York too. We used to have
Yeah.
block parties. Yep.
So we're trying to bring back those things, and then also work with the police and work with the town watch and how many everybody need to have cameras hooked up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And not
Yeah.
only that, they're training block captains to make sure Miss Shirley at the corner of the block who
Hmm.
don't have anybody. She's 78.
Yeah.
Who
Yeah.
gonna take her trash out for her?
Right.
Who gonna
Right.
drag her
Right.
cane in, bring in her recycling bin? Who's gonna help her keep the front of her house clean because she's getting old and she ain't got nobody to help her?
Right. Right.
It's that kind of stuff.
Uh.
Getting back to because one thing we learned from Baltimore, there was a couple studies. Baltimore, Philadelphia, Chicago, and I believe it was Cleveland. They picked 3 or 4 blocks and
Mm-hmm.
just kept them clean, like for 12 weeks. Blocks that had drug dealing, shootouts,
Mm-hmm.
filth, trash on the streets. Those 4 blocks in all these different cities, they were just by these organizations. They kept them clean, and then they monitored the the crime. No more shootings.
Mm-hmm.
No more boys hanging on the corner. Right?
Yeah.
Blocks are clean, and it. So we know now for a fact the blocks that are maintenance and kept and washed over are the ones that are less likely to have drama on it.
Right. Right. Right.
That
Yeah.
needs to be a block by block move.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
No
That's right.
dude is no dude is going to stand on the corner when he looks down a block and he sees 25 people out there with trash bags cleaning up their own in front of their house.
Right. Right. And it takes for
You know what I
everybody to
mean?
participate in that. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. And if the people and your block is you know, Miss Shirley and she can't get out, you go there and sweep in front of her house. You're not going to raise
Right.
anything you need.
That was
And she's going to
boy. That
tell
was
you,
that's how we used to
my
be
hip
back then.
Yeah, my hip is hurting. I need to get to the market. I can't go. And I don't know how to use these door dashes and all that stuff. I don't use those kind of things. I use my phone just to talk to my friends. All right, well, I
Mm-hmm.
will go to the market for you, or I will take you to the market.
Yeah. Yeah.
We got
That's
to
good.
get back to that. We got to get back to that.
That's good.
Yep.
Wow, that's good. I had never heard that before. It would be great if some of the we need to start posting. We need to start posting, especially in your group, Darius, the communities that's doing that. And the other thing is the
Oh,
the when
matter
they
of
shopping
fact,
at picking a business. Um, I need to know how Kim if you can support that from a distance by what do you call it? Those businesses have websites or any way we can support spending a few $100s with those businesses as well from a distance. You know
Yeah,
that
if they
information.
got a website, like Hakeem is a national, is a, like I said, it's a national monument to the Black Civil Rights Movement,
Mm,
going back to the 60s. That's why I think during the right when the pandemic broke, the city of Philadelphia marked it as a national thing. Like this is a
okay.
historical landmark. He can't. The good news is he's a historical landmark. The bad news is he can't even change the way his store looks without talking to the city and the state now.
Mm, gotcha.
So
Gotcha.
you know, but
Very good information. We need to be reporting on that and find out what other cities Darius is doing the same thing and what other small businesses is doing the same thing so we can support from a distance.
yeah,
let me
because that's
promote my group.
important. Yeah, because that's
I've been
important.
uh, my group is called Protesting for Major Changes for Now and in the Future. I posted a lot of information what's going on in the Black community. Uh, go check it out at your own time. I'll post the group in Shoebox Talk.
Okay,
We
good,
got
good. We need that
I
kind of
posted a
information
lot
just
of
to keep
information about the Carl Anthony case,
Mhm.
and I've also been posting a lot of other stuff about the Black news.
Okay. Okay.
So
We,
other
we
members
definitely
been
need to stay
contributing.
plugged in. We need to stay plugged in over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, shoot, that's just 45 minutes into the hour, and that's just we touched on a couple of things quite a bit already. We haven't even scratched the surface. So definitely any information that we got in regards to those things, Hakim, supporting from a distance, because we're in the age of technology now, so we should be able to support the community even though we're not in the community type of situation. So I would like to definitely be a part of that and putting that information in both on the in Shoebox Talk and Hub online web platforms, web pages, and things like that, so that we can on Instagram and Facebook, so that we can know about. I didn't know anything about what you just said in regards to that community thing and supporting picking a business to support. Now I did participate in the Walmart and the Target, the national thing or whatever. I
Hmm.
don't shop with them no more, but and now Amazon. But that's something on a smaller scale that's really a big thing that we should be able to support from a distance as well. So, any information you got on that, Philly,
Well,
um, and things like that, we need to be knowing. New
well,
York.
the update on Target real quick is Brian Cornell is the CEO of Target,
Mhm,
and he requested a meeting with Al Sharpton about the DEI boycott.
mhm,
And I like this. I saw a lot of people come out against this, and I saw a lot of the goofballs. Why he reaching out to Al Sharpton? Okay, who he supposed to reach out to?
right, right.
Al Sharpton and his organization called the National Action Network. They they launched this, and a lot of the all the organizations around the country got behind the bigger organization.
Mhm,
And of course, you call him because he is the face of the boycott.
right.
And so, okay, this is a sign. At least this guy is trying to talk. Walmart ain't saying nothing.
No, no.
Amazon ain't saying nothing. Jeff Bezos is too busy sending Gail King and them up in there in space. He don't give a shit.
I saw that. She took her ass up in space.
Yeah, they
Hey,
went up and had a cup of tea and brought him back in.
she needed to sit that old ass down. She needs to sit down somewhere. I think that's what Gail talking about. She's seen her experience with the. I thought she was watching the spaceship go up. Huh.
Yeah.
Wasn't
So
with her?
it's so no, it was a whole bunch of people that
Yeah.
they piled up there. So yeah, here's I did I'm not gonna lie, I did have an issue with boycotting Target,
You did?
and I discussed it amongst a few black creators and from my bed. I was able to jump on a couple folks live and give my little 2 cents.
Mm.
Target, they did their DEI programs, but they continued to do the things that DEI promised. Um, and
They
I
didn't,
think
they
Tampa,
didn't continue to get that money to do all that stuff for George Floyd like they said they was. They didn't. They
I'm sorry,
didn't. They didn't continue to do that part
which part is that again? I couldn't hear you.
about giving all that support and money for the George Floyd situation.
What George Floyd situation?
They had can't think of it right now, but they were supposed to give money and support there was some grants and things like that because when all that stuff was happening with happened with George Floyd. Target was out front on that.
Oh, what did it? But no. Okay, that was old stuff. That was like 4 years ago.
Yeah.
The issue is they said moving forward we're not doing DEI, but their thing was we're not going to do DEI, but we're going to keep being fair to everybody. We're going to keep hiring. We're going to keep putting black products on our shelves. We're not going to be like Walmart. We're going to keep because Walmart will let you put their stuff on their online website, right? but you can't put it on their shelves unless you are so famous they can't ignore you. But the regular mom and pop sitting home who putting together skincare products, Target will it'll put your shit on their shelf. Target is more closer to Amazon than we realize because it's a store made up of other people's shit. Um, and their thing was, we're still going to keep donating. We're still going to keep doing this. We're still going to keep doing that. We're just dropping the DEI title. Black folks wasn't trying to hear that.
Right. I'm with
We
you on
want
that.
that DEI title. Now, me, I'm looking at it like this, and Tabitha Brown said it best. Um, and she goes, I got hundreds of products all across the country. Me and like 200 other black owned businesses. We got products all over Target. If y'all boycott, what are we going to do with those products? They're going to sit on the shelves and not sell, and they're going to ship them back to us, or they're going to mark the price down and they're going to be devalued. And people, they're going to sit, you go in a Family Dollar or a Dollar Tree, there's that shopping cart in the front, hey, take this shit,
Hmm.
75% off. That's what they're going to do to all these products. So if Target is selling their products that used to be 10, they're selling them for 2 just to get rid of them, what happens to their market share? Their products is being devalued because the people who normally buy them aren't going in anymore. So, and I get it because Target didn't say, "Hey, black people, we're not selling your shit anymore." They're saying black people still keep coming to us. We're going to keep still doing the work. We're just not going to call it DEI anymore.
That, what, Hakim, I seen that interview, and I can relate to a certain degree, as a business owner and things like that. Sometimes you got to take a loss, and this one is a big one for her, or whatever the case may be. But man, you either in or you not, Target. You wanna have one foot in the door and one foot out the door. If you meant, why take away the DEI title? Why change it?
Because they're
I'm not with
cowards.
that. I'm not
They're
with it.
cowards.
Exactly. So therefore, if you're not rolling with us, we understand that black people stuff not gonna get sold. That's why you gotta have you. It should be a lesson. You're like, you know what? I can't. You can't put all your eggs in one basket. I should have had my stuff and some other stuff. Tabitha, send your stuff over here. Send it to some of the black-owned businesses. Send your stuff to. I have a beauty supply store that's opening up a Memorial Day weekend in my city, and I would more than welcome having pull it. If she want to send her stuff to my store to be sold, I will definitely put it on the shelf. You should have supported. That's big business, but in the background, you should have had your products and black-owned businesses.
Oh
Period.
no,
So
she does.
I do not. I do not. I mean, she gonna be all right. I'm.
Yeah, yeah, because I don't. We don't
I
want.
saw her crying and this and that, whatever. Man, please, black people, as far as I'm concerned, if Target wants to change that, if they want to deviate the name, what is that for? To satisfy Trump, to satisfy that administration, or to get
It's
them
the.
tax breaks that you would normally get. But you still, that's being on the fence. You either with us or you're not. Point
I
blank
agree
period.
with that part. I agree with that part.
You know what I'm saying?
I,
Like we got enough struggles as it is. We don't need nobody that's, oh, you still need our money. Let's figure out how we can still get black people to come buy these products that we got a contract with these black business owners in products in our store, or we're gonna be stuck. You want to make it seem like it's you doing it for us and come on and keep on spending your money but really you're doing it for yourself. You're not with us. Because if you was, you wouldn't be trying to change your name and all that. Be like, you would be pushing back or taking that loss from the Trump administration or whatever the issue is behind the scenes and still roll with us. And
yeah,
that in itself, black people would be like, you know what? Because at first, people was like, oh, Target's holding his ground. And then I was like, yeah. So I stopped shopping at Walmart and started shopping at Target more. And then I heard that Target bowed down. I said, oh, no, I can't go with y'all. No.
yeah.
So
Target, Amazon, what was it, Costco? It was a, it's a whole handful. You can Google it. It became a nationwide movement because Trump put the word out that we're going to come after you. The Department of Justice are going to come after you and sue you for civil liabilities. And they got scared. But then there's other corporations like Merck, the biggest drug pharmaceutical company in the world, said, "Fuck you. We're going to do more DEI."
Yeah.
So my stepdaughter works for Merck, and she's a part of their DEI program, their Skills First program, and she's a part of one of these organizations that I was talking about. That's how I got the knowledge through her, watching her go through these experiences and build um herself up at 25 years old, working for Merck in a regulatory department. That is unheard of.
Yeah.
So you know, and my only softness is because I'm a strategist, and Trump has made it to where there's going to be less black businesses being formed.
Mm-hmm.
So we gotta find a happy medium to how to keep and maintain the ones we got in place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I'm the shoe Tabitha Brunson because she works with black businesses all the time, and she sends her stuff out to them at a cheaper rate, by the way. Um, and she holds forums and stuff so black people can come and work with her and shop with her. And she mentors and tutors a lot of startups who really don't know what the hell they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to kick her back in. But my thing was, I think Target should have worked on their delivery of that better. I hear you, Target, but that's not good enough. You know what I mean? And that was what guys like Al Sharpton, Roland Martin, and a couple of other big names who are on the Black Watch, I like to call it. So yeah, they got to do a lot better than that. Um, if the argument is DEI is passe and we should call it something else and we should call it something more modern, all right, let's have a conversation. I'm not against it. As long as it's the same shit or one more oomph to it, because I want equality. I want freedom, justice, and equality for black people. Whatever the same shit that these, oh, I almost said the C word, the same shit that the Pell Man is getting, black people should be getting too. The same treatment, the same goddamn salaries. If my son and a white boy with the same credentials, the same education, the same work history are joining a company, there should not be a $30,000 gap between the two.
Right. No reason for that.
None.
Like that,
None.
I mean, we in 2025. This racism stuff is like really going too far. It's like at this point, it's just like we're not going backwards. It's just really
It's
really
just a matter of time.
ignorance that we should be past this after all these years that this country's been through, and we got a president, a person, or people that think that you still, for whatever reason, you feel threatened because all this is a melting pot. The United States has always been a mixture of all kinds of different cultures and people coming here to work hard and have a better life. When did you just wake up and decide that they need to be a dominant race and you losing there's too many of us and not that many of y'all and all this craziness? You know what I'm saying? It's a mindset of before we was born. Back in the day, you trying to go back. We need to be moving forward as a country, not moving back to the stuff that lessons should be coming out of that, so we can all do better in the future. You trying to go back? Elon Musk and all that. His ass trying to do somebody said he trying to be the president, and he tried to come after the president in Africa. He got a whole bunch of old white people there in Africa that's billionaires and stuff, millionaires and stuff that's leading the charge from over there and telling him all this stuff that the president told made an announcement and spoke in his country of Africa that Trump need to be worried about what he got going on in his country and stay and mind his business over here. Like we got enough problems, and stuff like that. You pulling other countries into it, and you over here trying to buy up Maine. What's that other country? They looking at him. What's the name of that country? I forgot the name, but they over there minding their business.
Greenland.
Greenland. There you go. trying to
Mhm.
buy up countries and stuff. What do you think you man? Please, that's that. And
Yeah.
you trying to buy it up with taxpayers' money. That ain't your personal dough. This motherfucker is crazy. There's got to be some laws on that.
Well,
That's craziness.
well,
So
that
in
that
Canada, he want Canada to be the 52nd state or 51st state or whatever.
Yeah,
That's a whole
and
country. Why would why you're crazy? You have something has to be wrong with you. Like that's not
I
even
believe Trump got the bitching.
yeah, just
I
craziness.
don't
So
think
well,
he's not completely healthy.
no, he's not. He's got a whole
He
lot of
got
stuff
major
going
health
on.
issues.
80 some years old. He bipolar. What minute he doing this? He's saying that, and then next you know he backtracking and acting like he never said it in the first place. Crazy stuff like that, right? This is when I knew who I was dealing with. We've been people on the East Coast been knowing who Trump was, but this is the older version of Trump. When that fool stood up there and y'all can backtrack and people try to take it back, man, listen, that fool stood up there and told people at a press conference with the medical personnel standing there to put bleach and put just bleach in yourself to get rid of COVID. I said, man, that's embarrassing. That's the president of the and people actually did it.
And they got real sick.
And so here we go on Fox News. Oh, well, that's not what he meant. No, so now that's not what he meant there. But all the other stuff he says and stuff like that, he means what he said. It's just people making excuses for mental health issues for a person that's making decisions for this country. That's
see,
crazy.
this is where we have to. Everything happens for a reason. Let's look at Greenland. Why Greenland? What in the blueberry fuck is so important about Greenland that makes him want to go over there?
I have no clue. I'm just dumbfounded.
It's minerals, fossil fuel. There are people who literally, and the minute he starts talking about the idea of owning Greenland, there are investors behind him, oligarchs. That's why you see Bernie Sanders and AOC and the oligarchy, or fight the oligarch campaign that they're going all over the country. Because Bernie knows, he sees it. Trump literally picked up 314 million shares were bought in Trump media when he started talking about Greenland.
What?
When he started, they literally saved Trump media because Trump media was tanking. It was down. He lost about 200 million in the summer last year. And when he started talking about Greenland, he picked up 314 million because there are
Wow.
investors that hope that America take Greenland because they're going to get first dibs.
See, that's not in the best interest of the poor people.
So
That's
now
that's
hold on.
not.
Now hold on. That's Greenland. Let's go over to Canada. He would love for America to take over Canada, which he can't because it's still in the Commonwealth of the United Kingdom. It's still a own subsidiary of England. That's why they can never have a president because they're still under the monarchy,
Right.
but they're independent. Now, he would love to take Canada for a whole number of reasons. One, it's a great military pinpoint for the Arctic. If we ever have an issue, if we want to travel with Russia, we want to be able to hit the Arctic, going over there and blow up some shit.
Mhm.
If you get Canada, that's good. That's a good launching point. Two, what is auto parts? A lot of our auto parts come from Canada.
Mhm.
A lot of our lumber comes from Canada.
Mhm.
If you control the lumber, or if America controls Canada and friends of Trump donors can go in Canada, 51st state, and set up companies to sell lumber, what industry are you controlling? The
Real estate.
housing, the
Mhm.
real estate. Control the lumber, you control real estate. You control metal, you control real estate. And a lot of builders, and I've literally been watching them come out. Hey, we need that lumber because it's cheaper to buy it there from here. We
Hmm.
can keep the cost of housing down that way. So
Yeah, but
every
he's not gonna get Canada. That's
yeah,
not.
he's not, and
It's not going to work.
Canada's boycotting us.
Yep.
We've already
Do you
lost
blame
for
them?
spring break. For spring break, we've already lost every bit of $275 million
Mm.
in tourism.
Wow.
Canadians come here went for spring break to go
Mhm.
to the Niagara Falls. They're just crossing the borders to go to New York, or they may come to Philly to see the Liberty Bell and see the historical stuff going on.
Right.
The
Right.
first White House is the big tourism stuff from Canada.
Mhm.
That's here. The first White House is here in Philly. That is a big deal, right?
Right.
So, or you may want to go down to Florida.
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
know what I mean? To go down there and get some because it's still warm down there.
Yeah.
So it's like there's a whole industry that's suffering now because they're being boycotted. And there's the other thing. They're telling their citizens they put America as a travel warning.
Sure did. I said, wow. Sure
N-
did. Cause you
Not
will mess around and come over here and get swooped up in a in one of them
yes,
and
ICE
then
might
be
get
sitting
you.
over right and be sitting somewhere in a whole nother country in jail.
Yeah, because you're visiting. They could find a reason to
Mhm.
abduct you and
Yep.
ship your ass over there where that other boy at.
Yep.
So the countries all over the world are saying, don't go to America because we got a crazy man over there who's
Mhm.
grabbing anything that ain't born from America.
Right. Right. And could use that. Imagine this is just crazy talking, right? Because it's a time we live in. Imagine swooping up probably about 50 Canadians and
Hmm.
shipping them, holding them hostage or saying they treason or they over here doing something they got them doing and sending them over there or holding them and telling Canada you got to give up your country if you want these Canadian. I mean, it's just that crazy. Like the shit you see on TV. You gonna get all 50 of these people gonna get killed if you don't give up your country. Shit like that. Craziness. It can happen. It can happen. So anyway, we are coming to the end here, and we have not even scratched the surface. So we will be back hopefully next week. We're gonna reconvene and see how we're gonna what we're gonna do Saturdays or whatever we're gonna do to try to do, and we're gonna wind up doing what you call it, updating on HubNet News for probably the remainder for the next 3 or 4 shows. So it's so much that in our community that we need to talk about, as well as around the world. Right now, it's a world thing. It's not just one community or the other, because we have a lot of people who decided, for whatever reason is, to put this man in office, and now they have I live around a lot of people that have a lot of regrets. So that being
Well,
said,
that's on them.
yeah, right, right. That being said, hopefully there's a lesson in this, and I will end with this. My big concern is in 4 years that this dude don't try to leave office, and that's when we really. You think we got problems now? This dude is not planning on leaving office, and
I
so
think we're going to be
therefore,
okay.
I
We're
hope
going to
so.
be okay in 2026. The house is up. All
If
signs,
people get out and vote, I hope so.
yeah. All
Yeah.
signs are looking at us taking the house. Once we take the house, we can do some things.
Mhm. Or at least
Shut
stop
them
him from
down.
doing some things. Right, right.
Yeah, because we'll
So the
have
message is
investigative power.
going forward. Let's make sure that we on the social media platforms as well as on the show that we tell people, remind people of the date of when that happens, so that we can all get out and vote. We have to vote. If
Yep.
we don't vote, he gonna have both the House and the Senate again.
Yep.
So anyway,
Anybody got any shout outs?
I don't have any at this time. I gave my 2 shout outs, which is both to you guys. Let y'all, all the peeps is still in the groups and on the platform. We appreciate you. We going into year 8 or 9 of having this platform, having this radio network, and I know that sometimes it's passed and we don't get in there, but that's because we having to regroup and we trying to come together and make it make it better and update our system and different platforms and stuff like that. So
Hmm.
uh, I don't have anything to any shout outs at this time. You, Darius, other than his group, our groups, our platform, and making sure that our producer is good to lead us to where we need to be. I'm good. I'm good.
Darius, you want to plug your group again?
Yes, it's called Protesting for Major Changes for Now and the Future. If you want to join my group, you are more than welcome. That group is about what's going on in a country that's affecting the black people, good or bad. I
No,
have
it's a
put
good
up
group.
I
It's a good
put
group.
updates on the Carl Anthony case, and I will be following that closely.
Okay. Keep us posted. Keep us
Yep.
posted, Darius. We appreciate it. All right, y'all.
Um,
What you
yeah,
got
make
on
sure.
you?
I wanted to plug something, something personal here. I didn't get a chance to
Mm,
clear it with you first, so please don't kill me.
mm,
Um, May 10th, if you're in Philly, come on down to the CBG Philly event space at 3057 Frankfurt Avenue.
mhm.
We are having an event called the Comfort Zone. This is our third one, where it's going to be a night of R&B, spoken word,
Mm.
and just some good vibes. Put together by Al Bills, Keyshawn K, and myself. This is a Putting in Work Entertainment and Melodious Earth Entertainment presentation. So I want you guys to come on down and enjoy the show. Good vibes, good drinks, good food, good everything. Um, this
Oh,
is our
that's
this is our
good.
third one, so come on down. All are welcome, and it's
May
free to
10th.
get in.
That's
It's
Mother's Day weekend.
Yep, it's
Yeah.
Saturday before Mother's Day, so bring mom on down.
Yeah. That'd be
Let her
nice.
shake our ass with the good hip, and
Yeah.
so. But
Yeah.
yeah, all are welcome. And everyone, please follow our social media on Facebook, Instagram, and of course YouTube.
Yep.
At
Yep.
the shoe
YouTube.
at Shoebox Talk and HubNet Online
Yep.
Network.
We on YouTube.
So,
Yep. You guys have a good Easter weekend. It is good. Yesterday was Good Friday. Easter's tomorrow. And give the Lord some time and break bread with your families.
all right,
All right.
all right, everyone.
Take
Have a
care.
great week. Peace.
Bye bye.